You're listening to the Geek Awakens, where the talk is geekier than cosplaying as the butter cow at the Illinois State Fair. And here's the host of said show. It's Mitch.
So, yeah. I was going to say some kind of butter cow related joke. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
It's not an easy thing to...
It is, yeah, it's not.
Also joining us is Tabitha.
I also don't have anything to say about the butter cow. But I kind of would like to see you cosplay as the butter cow.
Is that a thing?
A lot of butter.
Can that be a
That's
thing?
a lot of butter.
Well, let's be honest for a second. Would you actually use real butter?
No.
Play-Doh.
Ooh.
Everyone's welcome.
Would that still melt, though? I mean,
It wouldn't melt, but it'd be hot as all
Yeah.
get out. Let's like
don't
paper
know.
mache this thing.
I don't know
Install
the-
a couple fans.
I don't know the physics of Play-Doh, so
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Total aside, have you seen the picture of... Okay, for those of you who aren't familiar with what the butter cow is, the Illinois State Fair, they do this thing where they have somebody sculpt a cow made out of butter.
It's a life-size cow
Life-size cow.
out of nothing but butter.
I think there's like wires and stuff. Like
Yeah, on the inside.
it's not like entire butter, but still. But like you guys have seen it in years past, right?
Yes.
And especially like in the last 5 years or so, there's been like a lot of other things. There's been like some butterflies and some pigs and whatnot. And this, you know what? This may be the first year with a different artist. I think I'm just now remembering that. But either way, I saw a picture of the butter cow today, and it looks plain AF.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, it is just the cow.
Well, that's...
I mean, maybe there's a butter shortage. I don't know.
Or maybe because the artist for the butter cow last year, at least last time I checked, still hadn't been paid.
Oh,
So
Well, you know.
that might be part of it.
screw your butter cow, man. No.
You guys are going to walk into a wire frame if I'm on that job.
Hashtag Illinois problems. We can't even pay for a butter cow, guys.
What the deuce? BTW, how much is that? Does anybody know the total for the butter cow sculpting?
The going rate for butter cow sculpting? I don't know.
I haven't done that kind of research.
I mean, it'd be kind of fun to know, right?
There's got to be somebody we can call. Like, hello, hi.
You know, my mom
wondering.
used to audit the state fair,
I wonder if she can
and
maybe
she
remembers.
might. I don't know. Hey, we're here. Sue. Sue.
I think she's ignoring you on purpose.
Probably a thing.
Yeah.
This is our life.
So
Mom!
meatloaf.
I want some cheesy poofs. Yeah, she's ignoring me. No, she's probably working with people, kids, such. It's dinner time,
Yeah, that might be a little more important.
I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. This butter cow question's pretty pressing.
we will come up with an answer, and we will let you know on Facebook and Twitter. So you better be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter
Exactly.
at Geek Awakens.
So proud of this Twitter thing now that he's figured it out. Look at him.
I know, right?
Like a little girl. Like a
I mean, I figured it out. I'm just a very lazy Twitterer.
tweeter.
I don't know if Tweeter is much better.
Well, I think that's the actual term.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Twitterer just sounds like you got like the
Twitter.
Twitterer. Or you dubstep it like it just did. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I am kind of terrified.
I'm a little scared too. What are you drinking there, Mitch?
I'm drinking Crystal Pepsi, and so I go like in waves. I'll like give up soda and won't touch it for months and be just fine. So I gave up soda a couple weeks ago again because that's just what I do. And then they released Crystal Pepsi, and I knew it was coming, but I forgot it was coming. And then I saw it, and this is like the third one that I've had in like 26 hours.
I'm not even mad.
I mean, I'm not either, but at the same time, like, this is going to be a very long 8 weeks for me.
Like later on, my lady friend and I are gonna we have to drop off some mail at the mailbox, and I may have to stop by Casey's on Clear Lake and
dropping off mail at the mailbox.
No, literally dropping off mail in the mailbox.
Just
Jeez,
had to
Rich.
go there, didn't you?
Jeez. It's a family show. God.
Sorry.
I think we've talked about much worse.
Oh,
we
much
totally
worse.
have.
I haven't been able to say wrong show in a long time, though.
I know. Mommy, wow. I'm a big kid now.
No,
No?
no,
Dang it.
sorry.
All right. All right. So we've got a lot to talk about. First thing I want to talk about, though, and it's kind of like a personal thing, and it's kind of exciting or whatever. So a year ago, I'm sure you remember this, Pickett. Tabitha doesn't because she wasn't on the show yet.
Right.
But we had our first show during the Twilight Parade of last year's State Fair, and
True
tonight
story.
is the Twilight Parade. So this is like the unofficial because it's not really the anniversary of our first show, but we've been
And it's
going on for a
episode
year.
1.
And it's episode 1 again.
Oh God,
I
we've
guess
been
it's-
reboothed.
It's fitting, right?
It is.
It is
It
kinda
is so
fitting.
fitting.
And I think we're going to have no problems with Ustream today, so it'll save.
You find some wood to knock on right now.
Sorry. Sorry.
Salt over the shoulder, spin around twice.
Everything.
Couple Hail Marys. I don't know.
There we go.
But yeah, so yeah, we're calling this episode 1 because we're wanting to start to number our episodes, and we had 2 options. We could either go through and look and count how many episodes we've had so far.
By the way, this is the third time this has been explained because the
Yeah.
last 2 shows did not save.
Yeah. So that or just start over at 1. And so this is now the third time that we've started over at 1. So there's that.
It's like 1.3.
Yeah. But at any rate, we're here. We're going strong. But yeah, quick thanks to Pickett and Joe for giving us this opportunity. Thanks to Tabitha and Matt, even though he's not here. And let's see, Miriam, Chuck, Cam, Brad. Have I missed anybody?
I don't think so.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we kind of rock it out. So good job, guys. Woo. All right. So on that note, Tabitha.
Oh God,
Yeah.
I hate when you start with me and don't warn me. You gotta give me some warning.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So who is the up and comer over at DC?
Oh my God. Okay. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of hearing about Harley Quinn. And I feel like a bad person and I feel like a shitty feminist, but I am so tired of hearing about Harley Quinn. I'm so tired of going to every convention ever and seeing 37,006 Harley Quinn cosplays. There are more, there are better, there are an expansive amount of female characters that we could all be loving on right now, but yet we're all talking about Harley Quinn all the time. So as I was raging about Harley Quinn being so popular right now and everybody kind of forgetting that everybody else exists, I'm scrolling through my, my news feeds that I check every once in a while, and I see this headline pop up that says, "Is Harley Quinn really the 4th most popular DC Comics character?" And I literally threw my phone down and I'm so blanking sick of Harley Quinn. At the top of my lungs, my husband was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I feel bad. I used to love Harley Quinn, man. I thought about getting a Harley Quinn tattoo, right out of high school. I was gonna get the little black and red triangles on my thigh, like her, super sweet
Right.
costume. And oh my God, I'm really glad I didn't do that because then I would be planning my cover up right now. That's just a lot of work.
Nice. But yeah, that article, Jim Lee, who is one of the co-publishers over at DC, is calling her the 4th pillar of DC Comics. Obviously, the other 3 being Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. But I don't see. Yes, I understand she's insanely popular, but I mean, there are more established characters. I mean, hell, I would put the Joker as a fourth pillar before I put her.
I mean, my other thing is, like, it was in this article, and I, like, highlighted it because it was like, okay, yes, preach. And what they were talking about is how the argument is basically because she's the 75% of the reason that people are going to go see Suicide Squad. And then there's a quote in this article that says, and it seems female readers especially adore her. And then in parentheses, which is slightly disturbing given that she's kind of defined by a male character who's abusive toward her, but that's a whole other can of worms. Granted, she's crazy, Joker's crazy, the crazy balances each other out. But seriously? Like, we can't pick, like, a better representation of a woman than a fawning over a crazy guy woman?
It's a valid point. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't even argue your point at all.
No.
I do not disagree at all. Yeah.
Well, I mean, see, Harley Quinn, she kind of has the same formula that Deadpool has, and that's part of the reason why he's so popular, is because he's weird and quirky and breaks the fourth wall, and so that that's popular or whatever now, and that's all well and good, but at the same time, yeah, there's definitely a lot of, I don't want to necessarily say overkill, but she is kind of everywhere right now.
Yeah, it's super obnoxious. I was at BookCon of all things, and I turned around and I'm like, that can't be. I refuse. And I looked away, and then I turned back around and I'm like, nope, definitely 2 Harley Quinn cosplays at BookCon. I'm like, what are you doing? Granted, I get it, comic book character, but it's BookCon.
Right.
Did you maybe not know where you were going? Like, what are you doing here?
Step into the wrong con.
Right? Did you get lost? Like, get out of my BookCon, Harley Quinn. Bye. Like,
the ICP concert's down the road. Sorry.
and it's a valid point though. Like, she's like, you have all these women that are like, I have friends that are like super hardcore feminists that are like super about Harley Quinn right now. Like, they got all dolled up in like Harley Quinn gear to go see Suicide Squad, and I'm thinking, you realize that doesn't make any sense, right?
So, okay. So, what other female character would you name as the fourth pillar of DC Comics if we're going to do that? And I also have another question for you, too. I don't want to forget what it is.
Okay. I mean, as you guys know, DC, other than just basically early Batman, isn't really my jam. I'm much more of a Marvel girl, but I don't know. I mean, I just, like, my problem, and I've said this before, and I get yelled at about it all the time, my problem with DC female characters is that while some of them are great, they all, in the end, need a man to save them. Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Batgirl, Harley Quinn. None of them are, like, in the end, don't need a man. Like, even, like, your side characters, Lois Lane, always got to be saved by Superman. Like, you can't, like, it's very, very rare. Supergirl, even in some of the comics, has to be saved by Superman. It's just very, I don't know. I don't want to say one-sided, but it's kind of sexist, and I think that's mainly my problem with DC. Like, and they're all big-boobed, pretty, like, they're
Very
all
little clothing.
very little clothing, like, super, I don't want to say slutty, but slutty costuming.
Well, I mean, and even to go back to Harley Quinn where we're at right now, I mean, look at her progression through the, 20 years she's been around? I mean,
Right.
she started as, as a jester or whatever, and now...
Fully clothed.
Yeah, fully clothed. And now she's wearing almost next to nothing. Which,
I mean, even-
that's fine, but...
Even in, like, the Batman video games right now, like, when they released the last one, I happened to be in Best Buy, and I, like, walked by, like, the display, and it's, like, these two, like, I don't know how they had it set up, but they had Batman on one side, Joker on the other, and then Harley Quinn was kind of standing in the background, and they're both wearing, like, obviously they're men, so they're wearing, like, full clothing, and then you have her standing there looking all steampunky in, like, tiny little shorts and, like, a corsety top. It's like, really? Like, there are more to these women, even if they are just characters, than TNA.
Right.
I'm going to get off my soapbox now.
It's all right. Okay, so my other question, I'm going to pose this because I know that there's another character that you're not really fond of. So you have to spend 72 hours with either Harley Quinn or Peter Parker / Spider-Man. Who is it?
It's a quandary for the ages. God, I'm gonna go with Spider-Man because at least I can feel like I can be mean to him. Like, Harley's just crazy, and I feel kind of bad for her, but he's just super annoying, and I feel like I can be like, shut up, Peter. Like, I can boss him around, I guess. Yeah, that makes me, yeah. Mm-hmm. I would rather spend time with Peter Parker because I can be meaner to him. I don't know what that says about me as a person, but...
Well, and especially if your goal is to be mean to somebody. I mean, if you're mean to Harley Quinn, she might just straight up kill you.
Right,
so.
and I feel like Peter Parker would just sit in the corner and cower, so... You guys know I'm not wrong.
No, you're not.
Anyway. So, moving on to a little bit of Marvel news. And this is actually coming from Matt. Even though he is not here today, he's with us in spirit. So, go him. But anyway.
You going to pour out a shot of your Crystal Pepsi for your homies?
Absolutely not. No, I'm not going to waste this wonderful beverage or whatever. The Geek Awakens, brought to you by Crystal Pepsi.
Oh. The sound you're hearing is Pickett whacking his forehead on the microphone at Mitch.
So anyway.
Oh, Mitch.
So Ghost Rider is making his way back to Marvel, not only in comic book form, but he's actually also going to show up in the MCU. And unfortunately, it's not going to be Nick Cage as Ghost Rider again.
I'm sorry, I wasn't really paying attention. Did you say fortunately or unfortunately?
Unfortunately.
Okay. What?
So in the comic side, Ghost Rider #1 coming out in November. It's not going to be... somebody help me out. What's the original Ghost Rider's name?
Johnny Blaze?
Thank you. Yeah,
I pulled that out of my butt.
Yeah, I saw the confusion, and then you just kind of your brain just was like, "Wah, there it is." That was great. He's so proud of himself.
I am. I'm really excited about this.
Good job. If I had a gold star, it'd be all yours, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So anyway, Robbie Reyes is going to be the new Ghost Rider. It says that Felipe Smith is going to write the series, and he said that prior Ghost Riders were compelled to do good, but Robbie is making the choice to do good things because the spirit that inhabits him or whatever that allows him to become Ghost Rider is actually that of a serial killer. So this spirit is compelling him to do bad things. So he's making that conscious effort to do good or whatever.
Oh.
So Robbie Reyes will also be in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next season, which starts September 20th. So
interesting.
Yeah. Are you caught up on S.H.I.E.L.D.? No?
No, they started going a weird direction, and I started losing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I still never finished season 1.
Same.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows that, and it happens to me a lot, where you watch it and then you lose it, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna get caught up for the sake of just being caught up because it's in my DVR or whatever, and then you get into it until the last episode. And you're like, sweet. Then you watch the first episode of the next season, and then you start the second episode. You're like, yeah, okay, I can wait for the rest of these, and then it happens again. Unfortunately, the last time it happened, I never picked it back up, and that was 2 seasons ago. So.
I was bored.
Yeah.
I just wasn't entertained. I have problems watching TV shows that are currently on anyway, because my memory is not awesome. So I'm like, wait, what happened last week?
Yeah. Yeah, I really need those previously on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Gosh, yes.
So, have either of you watched Stranger Things?
No.
No? Mm-mm. Okay. So then, you're not really going to have the frame of reference for this next story. And I haven't watched the entire season yet. I've watched, I think, the first 3 episodes, but enough to know. So, anyway, a while back, maybe about a month ago or so, Anna Kendrick said that she would be interested in playing Squirrel Girl.
Yes.
In a potential movie. So, which is all well and good. I mean, I don't think there's anybody on the face of this earth that doesn't like Anna Kendrick.
No, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
If they don't like Anna Kendrick, I don't want to meet them.
Yeah. Exactly. So, anyway, so Shannon Purser, who is on Stranger Things, and I cannot for the life of me, I'm having a hard time with character names. I can't remember her character's name. But anyway, she has also expressed interest in playing Squirrel Girl. And in my opinion, this girl would blow Anna Kendrick out of the water.
You hold your tongue. I'm just kidding.
She was talking to... she was doing like this interview in in support of or whatever for Stranger Things, and she was talking about Squirrel Girl and thinking how Squirrel Girl is adorable, but at the same time is totally boss and completely awesome. Her words, not mine. Although those are words that I would use. So, but anyway.
She plays Barbara Holland in the show.
Barbara. See, I was thinking Deb for some reason.
Wait, what's
I
her
don't know
first
why.
name?
Her name is Shannon. Shannon Purser.
You know, I read this story that you posted, but I can't remember what she looks like. Because once again, memory problems.
And admittedly, I don't really know what she looks like in real life. I just know what her her character. And that, to me, screams Squirrel Girl.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Anna Kendrick is... Oh, God, sounds like a bad person. The more attractive of the two. But she's more Squirrel Girl. Because
Exactly.
Squirrel Girl's kind of like... I don't know. I don't want to say awkward looking, but awkward looking.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
she's kind of quirky.
yeah.
I mean...
Dare you say
A little
squirrely?
bit nutty.
Oh, God. Get me out of here.
You're kind of trapped. I'm sorry.
I know. I really, really am.
But yeah, and of course, I mean, there is no talk of actually doing a Squirrel Girl movie. I mean, this is all just, wishes and yeah. I mean, she looks exactly like her.
She really does. Like, it's kind of creepy in a way.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so for me, I'm Team Shannon.
I mean, I'm always going to be Team Anna Kendrick in pretty much everything that she does.
Yeah.
But for looks and like that just alone, this girl.
I mean, I
For
wouldn't
sure.
I wouldn't be mad if this happened and it starred Anna Kendrick, but at the same time.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, all right, moving on a little bit. Tabitha, you had something to talk about Fantastic Beasts.
So I'm really excited for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I think most of us are.
Oh, yeah.
Because it looks spectacular. Also, Eddie Redmayne.
Right.
Have a moment of silence for that man.
Did he die?
No.
I was going to
he's
say,
Yeah.
I
wonderful.
was very confused for a quick second.
No. He's
The look on Mitch and I's face, I'm like,
he's still alive. Nice and alive. Nice and beautiful.
At what
nice and
other
wonderful.
point do you give a moment of silence,
When
though?
you're so wonderful that you can't stand it.
oh, well, then I'm going to need a moment of silence for me.
So anyway,
Anyway, so you can't think of character names. I can't talk. It's just, we're a mess. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is opening November 16th. Or no, I'm sorry. November something. December something of this year?
I want to say December.
I also kind of want to say December now that I said November.
Oh, no. November 18th.
November 18th?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. So, November 18th of this year, they've already let us know that November 16th of 2018, we're going to be getting a second one. And granted, I don't really know how this first one's going to go, because I don't know if you guys have read the book Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander. But essentially, it's not even really a book. What it is it's a collection of magical creatures. It's written like a school book.
Right.
Because it came out in the Hogwarts library. Like, that's what it is. So I'm kind of curious to see how this movie goes, just in general. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Get it?
Hi, you.
But I'm concerned as to why we're making a second one, and I'm trying to figure out, I mean, we talked about Cursed Child last week. At what point is too much Harry Potter world and universe too much Harry Potter universe? Like, are we stretching it? Are we trying to make it more than it should have been? And are we going to start losing some of the magic in the long run?
Okay, so with Fantastic, let's start with just Fantastic Beasts. With Fantastic Beasts, if it's a good movie, I'm always down for a good sequel.
True.
And it seems like they're going to be focusing more on not just like the UK Wizarding World, but more so here and just all over the place. That might be an interesting road to follow. The Cursed Child was cool. I still haven't picked it up yet. I probably won't for another week or two, just until my production schedule goes away, which won't happen for a bit. But, I don't know.
I don't want it to get like I feel like they're milking it a little bit, and I feel like we're gonna I don't know, overdo the Harry Potter, and then it's gonna be some like in 10 years gonna be this like weird bastardized version of Harry Potter where they just keep releasing movies and books and things that just don't matter. I mean that will be canon, but if you're gonna have it, I don't know.
I guess my thing is this. In terms of books, if they don't release anything else after The Cursed Child, I'm okay.
Me too.
In terms of movies, let's see where Fantastic Beasts goes, whatever. I can't talk either. And if the first one's good, I'm always down for the sequel. If they start making a bunch of stupid movies, then I'm going to be like, all right, guys, now we're doing something. So as things stand now, I'm completely happy with the amount of Harry Potter we have. More so the magical universe of Harry Potter, the Wizarding World, whatever. And I'd be okay with the sequel, as long as it's good. And maybe even a trilogy if all three are great. Or the first two are great. But they don't need to keep making other spin-offs.
Yeah, that's my concern, is that they're going to be like, oh, well, this one did so well, let's just keep going and see where we can go.
Like, I don't know that I'd be okay. Well, no, that's not. If they got original actors, I'm totally down to see The Cursed Child as a movie. But that's a big if.
Yeah.
See, for me, and this is obviously coming in from someone who's not a Potter fan, a Potterhead, is that what you call it?
Potterhead.
So, yeah. But anyway, so like, for me, I feel like as long as there's stuff to explore in, the Harry Potter universe, then yeah, go for it. I'm sure that there's still like tons of other things and avenues that they could go or whatever. And again, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I feel like J.K. Rowling is going to have, as long as she has a really big hand in it, I don't think it's necessarily going to put out something is going to be put out that's going to be bad quality.
Right.
They're obviously, like with Cursed Child, like we talked about last week, there's going to be some backlash. There's going to be some backlash from anything at this point,
right,
because that's just where we are as a society. But I feel like, yeah, I don't think that she's going to let a bad product go out.
True.
Now, let's say 20, 30, 40 years from now, she's passed or whatever, then maybe, yeah, we might see that bastardized version. I'm sorry.
You shut your mouth. That woman's made so many Horcruxes that she's going to live forever.
She is not immortal. I'm sorry.
She's only made 7.
I mean, at this point, she's kind of made 8.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. My bottle was empty. I would throw it at you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
At least he has priorities.
Right. At least the Crystal Pepsi is more important than his anger toward me.
Yes. So, yeah, that should say something.
Oh, it does. I don't know if it speaks for Crystal Pepsi or against me, though.
A little bit of both.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like, you're not good enough.
Right. I'm not good enough for the Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah.
He's got a full bottle of water that he wouldn't mind throwing at you, though.
That's not mine.
Oh, really?
I don't know whose that is.
Pickett, you do live here, right?
I think so.
But one more question going back to that before we move on. And I guess it's really not so much a question as it's just like a general, like, whatever. But I don't know how I feel about, and this is by no means the first movie to do this, where they've announced the sequel before the first one's even come out. I mean, it's not like something like Lord of the Rings or whatever, where it was going to be announced as a trilogy. Like, you knew going into it that, hey, we're making all of these. But, like, yeah, what if this movie completely bombs? It's not going to, but what if it does?
If it does, they're going to cancel it.
Yeah.
It'll get pushed back several times until it's canceled. And that's what they do. They save a slot for it because the reason they do it so early is because they want to make sure they have the release date set so that other people plan around them as opposed to them planning around other people. And they still will probably end up changing it for God only knows what reason. I said not probably, but they may end up changing it. Something comes out that same weekend that they're like, yeah, we don't want to go up against that. They'll move it. Or the other people move it. It's something like that's going to happen. But they like to get it out there as soon as possible. It's stupid. I'm like, you know what? Whatever.
Well, it's kind of like Ghostbusters. Like, they had like announced that they were going to try it, and now, like, with the, what was it, $70 million that they lost or whatever, they're probably not going to make a second one of those.
Right.
I mean, kind of the same thing.
By the way, super sad. This is a great film.
Yeah.
I did not watch it. Not for any, like, particular reason.
You missed out. It's a great movie.
It really is.
I sometimes have a hard time, like, scheduling my evenings to go to a movie. I don't know. Movies are hard for me.
I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, they can be, time consuming and whatnot.
I don't know. I sit there and I think about all the things I could be doing that aren't sitting in the dark.
Like sitting at home reading.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, speaking of sequels, so there's talk of casting for the Ocean's 8. I don't know. I guess it's more of a spin-off than a sequel. Ocean's 8's going to be an all-female cast, which pretty ballsy considering what we were just talking about with Ghostbusters, but, whatever. I
mean, are we just going to do this for forever, where we take movies and we recast them with women and put out the same movie, essentially?
Well, I think... Well, no, never mind. Because, okay, so when I was reading these articles earlier, I kind of forgot that I sometimes think that Sandra Bullock and Julia Roberts are the same person.
What? How?
I just do sometimes, okay?
But why?
But anyway, so...
Now, if I had an empty Crystal Pepsi bottle, I would throw it at you.
So when I read earlier that Sandra Bullock is one of the names that is close to being part of this movie, and then later on reading that Julia Roberts was in the original, well, not the original, but the current original Ocean's movies, I was like, oh yeah, so yeah, she's already in it. So yeah, it's going to be kind of a spin-off or whatever. But yeah.
Those are not the same person.
They are not the same person.
Not even a little bit.
No. But other names being thrown around for this movie: Kate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, Rihanna, Helena Bonham Carter, Mindy Kaling, and then Aquafina.
The water?
The water? Yeah.
It is the name is spelled, and then in parentheses Nora Lum. But Aquafina is AWKWAFINA.
I mean, that's pretty. I mean, to me, that says Aquafina.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to Google that spelling and find out who this Aquafina is?
I will.
I don't trust anybody named after water.
Especially after water spelled incorrectly.
Right. Like, you can't even spell your name right? Come on. That's weird. I don't like it. I mean, I like all of those women individually. I don't know. That's a weird chemical. Like, I don't know. Like, the chemistry of all those women just doesn't, like, Helena Bonham Carter hanging out with Rihanna sounds so ludicrous that I can't even think about it.
I don't know.
Like, think about that. Like, Helena Bonham Carter and Rihanna going to the movies together. Picture that in your head.
I would love to be in that movie theater.
I would not. I would feel weird.
They don't even have a picture for her on IMDb.
So she's maybe not a real person.
No, she is. She played in Neighbors 2.
Oh.
Did anybody watch that?
I wanted to,
I watched the first one.
Yeah,
because Zac Efron. But
I was pleasantly surprised by the first one.
Yeah,
I didn't
was too.
think I was gonna really like it, but
it was all right.
yeah, it was good. And I wanted to see the second one. It just gets away from me.
Movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm tired of. It's only happened once, and I'm tired of the remakes with an all-female cast.
yeah.
Like, make an original story and have an all-female cast.
If Chuck were here, he would agree with you 110%. He hates remakes and reboots and reimaginings. He's like, just give me a new story.
Right. Give me a new story where the female cast is badass. Don't give me a story that was originally written for men and be like, oh, but we put women in it, so it's all empowering. And no, it's not. You didn't even care enough to write an original story for these women to be in. You took something else that's been made from something else to be something else and put women in it. Silly.
The next reboot, Magic Mike, with an all-female cast.
Magic Michelle.
There we go.
Magic Micah.
Ooh.
I'm in.
I feel like they would have to rate that NC-17 and it wouldn't be on TV because
NC-17 requires a few very specific things.
Oh.
You can be completely naked and dancing and get a rated R.
That's weird. Well, I mean, I don't know. I only watched Magic Mike once. I think. Did I watch that? Yeah,
I don't know. Did you? Did you?
I don't know. I think I did. This doesn't sound like something I would watch, but I think I watched it because I'm the only female in the universe that does not find Channing Tatum in the least bit attractive.
That's fair.
I just neck muscles, man, not my jam. You guys wanted a girl on the cast. What do you want?
That is true. That is true. So, all right. So there is this guy on Reddit. His name is Black Panther 2016. He is planning on, well, I guess he's trying to sue Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment because he saw Suicide Squad and it did not show some of the Joker scenes that were in the trailers.
It's not the first time it's happened.
Won't be the last.
Yeah. Well, is it the first time that somebody's sued over it?
Probably. One of the more memorable times, Hocus Pocus. All the trailers showed the witches falling in a pool, and that never happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are a lot of times it happens. You know, they release the trailer. Hey, this is gonna be awesome. They're like, you know what? After looking at this, we're gonna cut this, and they do it for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen that yet? Here, by the way.
Suicide Squad? Yeah, I saw it on Friday.
I have not.
And
I liked it.
okay.
Trying to, because I wasn't really planning on talking about it.
Sorry.
So, I mean, yeah, it was good. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of just.
You were whelmed?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, you know, the blockbuster of the summer or anything, but I enjoyed it.
But you didn't feel like you wasted your money?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
That was my question, because
Yeah.
I haven't decided if I want to see it, because I've known people, some of my friends walked out of the movie because they were not upset, but just kind of meh.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know what you thought, because usually you and I are pretty on the same
Yeah.
page with movies.
I think Jared Leto finally won me over as Joker, and that's something that I've talked about numerous times. I didn't really feel like, you know, he's the Joker, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I think that it finally happened. Viola Davis was amazing as Amanda Waller. She's total badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the characters I've been, because you know they didn't show a lot on the trailers of Amanda Waller, so I was very interested to see how she was going to play out.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Margot Robbie, sorry, but you know, she was a fine Harley Quinn. I mean, she, you know, really captured that, you know, that craziness of her. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so going back to Black Panther, this guy, on the subreddit, on the movies subreddit, he said, Suicide Squad trailers showcased several specific caps lock Joker scenes that I had to pay for. That I had to pay for the whole movie just so I can go watch those caps lock specific scenes that WB/DC had advertised in their trailers and TV spots. None of these scenes were in the movie. I drove 300 miles to London to go watch these specific scenes that they had explicitly advertised in their TV ads, and they didn't show them to me.
Can we just talk for a second about the fact that there wasn't a closer theater?
Apparently this guy lives in Scotland.
Scotland.
Did they not show it in Scotland?
I don't know. I don't know if he wanted to go specifically to London or whatever.
To see those specific scenes.
Specifically in London.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, I don't drive 300 miles for nothing. I mean, I won't drive 300 miles for a movie. I'm sorry.
No,
absolutely not.
Unless it's like a premiere, I'm not driving 300 miles just to watch a movie.
Not a chance. I mean, honestly, he's just probably, he wants money, he wants attention.
You know almost more insulting than anything? They sent him a free copy of the movie.
That'd be hilarious.
Like, now you don't have to drive 300 miles.
And I would drive 300. Never mind. Anyway, he went on to say that I wasted a lot of money paying and traveling to go watch this movie because of these specific scenes they had advertised to me, and all of us saying, hey, check out our preview. This will all be in our movie. Come watch it on the 5th. All lies. I'm now taking this to court. I want my refund, the trauma of being embarrassed as I was being kicked out, and people laughing at me.
Wait. What?
Yeah. The trauma of being embarrassed as I was being kicked out, and people laughing at me for wanting my refund, and also the 160 pounds of fuel money I had to drive to London from Scotland.
I feel like we're being trolled.
I kind of do too.
I super feel like we're being trolled right now. Like, he wants them to pay him because he was embarrassed by his own actions. I hope we're being trolled.
I hope so. But yeah. But see, and my thing is, like, if you're going to go see a movie for a specific scene, then maybe that movie's not for you.
It's valid.
What scene could he... That it was like, oh my god, that scene's so glorious, I'm going to drive 300 miles to witness that one scene. Like... Yeah.
Well, and here's the kicker.
Seriously?
The movie is called Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad and the Joker.
Right.
So if you're going to see specific Joker scenes, then wait for the next Batman Joker movie or something.
Or wait till somebody puts them on YouTube and sit at home and play those Joker scenes in a,
right,
continuous little row.
Yeah.
God, I don't like that guy.
You hear that, Black Panther 2016? Tabitha doesn't like you.
Tabitha doesn't like most things, but I specifically don't like him.
Better hope he doesn't, like, find out where you live or wherever. Because he's going to do all that traveling and then sue you for fuel money.
Jet fuel is really expensive.
And then the embarrassment to have his, ass kicked by a woman.
Right.
Bring it on, Black Panther 16 or whatever. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So, let's see. Tabitha?
Yes.
Let's talk about Patrick Stewart.
So, on Wednesday evenings, it's my only free evening at home. And it's when I post my topics for you guys for the week. And I stumbled upon an article that says that this next X-Men movie, which is I think the next Wolverine sequel.
Next Wolverine, yeah.
It might be Patrick Stewart's last X-Men movie. And on Wednesdays I drink wine, so I was really upset and sad. And then I was trying to find a say it isn't so, make it so, like, reference to make, and I typed 4 or 5 things out for you guys and couldn't make it happen. But
you couldn't make it so?
I could not make it so. It was a mess. But I'm just real sad. Patrick Stewart is Professor X to me now, and I don't know. Yeah. I wanted him to be in those movies until he died. I'm outraged. Don't leave me, Patrick Stewart.
We should write a letter.
Yeah.
We should get on Tumblr and say we're suing him or whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, guys.
There we go.
They've advertised him as Professor X. They never said he would stop being Professor X.
Right. And I mean, you can't prevent death. I mean, you can, sort of, whatever. But I assumed he would do this until he died.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
It's like he's retiring as Professor X. Like, you don't get to retire as Professor X.
But at the same time, like, and yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think he plays a much better. Not to say that James McAvoy he's Professor X now. Not to say that he's a bad Professor X. But he pales in comparison to Patrick Stewart.
Right, and you got to think about how the X-Men movie timelines work. They're freaking all over the place. So James McAvoy is not going to be the age of future future Professor X for
a while.
Like, because James McAvoy's not that old. I mean, granted, they can shave his head and Benjamin Button him, but I mean, still.
Right.
And he's not gonna. I don't know the
He's
timeline.
not Patrick Stewart.
He's not.
But at the same time, like, even though he's not Patrick Stewart, like I would, I kind of expected. I honestly, after First Class, I didn't expect to see Patrick Stewart as Professor X again anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was a big surprise when we had Days of Futures Past, and I was like, "What? That's awesome."
No, so
I don't really want him to go out with the Wolverine sequel. I guess is part of my problem. I'm just really tired of Wolverine movies, guys.
Which in that Wolverine movie, that article that you shared said that it's going to be a very different Professor X.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
So, yeah, we don't know what that's going to mean. Maybe he's going to be rebooted as a woman. I don't know yet.
All female Wolverine cast. Tell me.
Who would play Wolverine?
Oh Lord, I don't know.
Sia.
What is wrong with you? I don't know. I don't know who female Wolverine would be. I don't really even want to think about it.
It's got to be somebody kind of hairy.
Right. And tall.
Well, no, because Wolverine is traditionally short.
But it's got to be a woman that's got to be like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a female Hugh Jackman, and it doesn't look great in my mind, so I don't want to think about it anymore. Yeah, that face. That face you're making, that's how I feel in my head.
No.
Exactly.
All right, so moving on from one Patrick Stewart franchise to another. There's some new information about Star Trek Discovery. It's going to be set 10 years before the original series.
Oh.
Yeah. So in the time between Enterprise and the original series, which that was the speculation. I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about that. I personally would have preferred something for it to take place after Voyager.
Agreed.
That way the sky's the limit. You can do pretty much whatever you want. With, doing it before
You're kind of limited.
Exactly. And granted, I never saw Enterprise, because that was what I call the dark years. There was a time when I thought that I was too cool for Star Trek. Yeah, that happened. But anyway, so I never saw Enterprise. I've always meant to go back and watch it, but it just hasn't happened. But when I heard that Enterprise was a thing and it was taking place before the original series, I was like, well, that's gonna limit a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you're limiting your timeline
Yeah.
a lot.
So.
Unless they pull a Star Trek and
go into the future.
Right.
Yeah, that's never been done before.
with that franchise, no.
Not once.
But yeah, so in addition to that, they also gave us a little bit of a clue as to what the cast is going to look like. No names yet, but it's going to have a female lead, which it's not going to be the captain. The female lead in this movie is actually going to be a lieutenant commander, because all the other shows have had the kind of the point of view of the captain, so now we're getting a look at somebody else. So there's also going to be, so you're going to have a human female lead. There's also going to be an openly gay actor as one of the male leads, a female admiral, a male Klingon captain, a male admiral, a male advisor, and a British male doctor. So, couple of things. One, the Klingon captain. I wonder if they mean a Klingon Starfleet captain?
Or a Klingon
Yeah.
captain.
I mean, but either way, and my original series knowledge isn't that great. I know the Klingons were first introduced in the original series, but did Starfleet know about Klingons at that point?
In the original series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't like, hey...
It's not like they discovered Klingons.
Okay.
Klingons, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Okay. So, all right, so that makes me feel a little bit better. So maybe it's, Klingons are going to be one of the main adversaries or whatever. Because...
Yeah, because the timeline wouldn't make sense because Klingons were enemies in the original series.
Well, hell, even in the Next Generation, I
That's
mean, with the
true.
exception of Worf, they were still not cool with each other.
Yeah.
So
They're just such an aggressive people.
they really are. They took that cheer in high school, B, aggressive, B-E, aggressive. They took that a little bit too far.
Mitch, on a scale of 0 to even, I can't.
I love that, by the way.
I'm glad.
So, the other thing that kind of struck out at me. See,
I'm never going to get you doing that out of my head, ever.
the other thing that kind of struck out at me was that it didn't say that there's going to be an openly gay character, but they specifically said there's going to be an openly gay actor playing a character. So unless they've already have somebody, cast, they just haven't announced it yet, are they going to, like if I were that actor and I get cast as a role, in a role on this show, and I'm gonna wonder the entire time I'm doing the series, am I cast because of my talents or am I cast because I'm gay?
All right. Are you just trying to fill your diversity bracket?
Right.
Right. Maybe they meant
Gay
character, but they phrased
It was phrased.
incorrectly?
It was phrased very.
Yeah, like maybe their fact checker was like out sick that day or something, and I don't know, like it just
Yeah.
that reads weird.
It reads really weird.
Yeah, because I would assume like
Well, because everything else they've listed on there are like character
characters,
traits.
right?
Yeah.
As opposed to actor traits. So when they said openly gay actor, you're like, okay, wait.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, hopefully it is just like a error or whatever. But
I mean, I still feel like I'm all for diversity in TV and movies and books, but
yeah,
I
absolutely.
feel like they have boxes that they feel like they have to check now instead of worrying about the outcome of how the show does. They're more worried about making sure they have all their diversity boxes checked.
right.
I'm having that problem with books right now too, so I'm just kind of having that problem all over the universe.
Right. Which, I mean, there is definitely something to be said for representation. I mean,
Right, absolutely.
There should be that character for everybody, regardless of whatever, to be able to look up to.
Right.
But, I mean, that said, you don't have to have every single one of those in every single piece of media.
Right.
But, anyway. All right. Couple stories left. All right, okay, I'm sorry. 3 stories left. Real quick. The first one, Captain America, the Captain America statue has made its way to Brooklyn.
Nice.
I'm kind of upset that they didn't do like a nationwide tour of the statue. Or maybe they did and I missed all about it.
I feel like we wouldn't have missed that.
Yeah.
I feel like
I would have traveled to see that. Not too far.
Not
Like-
300 miles?
No, absolutely not. But if they had stopped in like St. Louis or something, I would
or
have gone down.
Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
we had one of the big two.
Right. But anyway, so it's currently in Prospect Park. But there are a lot of people in that park who aren't happy that it's there because that portion of, it's in Children's Corner in Prospect Park. And that's supposed to be a, quote, commercial-free zone. So people are like, hey, what's this statue of a comic book character doing in this commercial-free zone. You know, they're worried that now that a McDonald's or a Walmart is going to go there, because that makes a lot of sense.
Because statues in fast food restaurants are so similar.
They are
go,
very,
they go hand in hand.
You know, when I'm like, I want a cheeseburger, I sometimes wind up at the Lincoln Monument, and I'm like, what am I doing here? I wanted a cheeseburger.
Abe, where's my burger? But
it never gives me my burger.
But at least he's honest about it.
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
But anyway, the statue is actually only going to be in that in Prospect Park for 2 weeks, and it's going to head over to the Barclays Center, and then it'll go to the Bed Bath and Beyond at Sunset Park at the after September. So we don't know where it's going to end up, but.
You broke Tabitha.
We figured out what the Beyond part of Bed Bath & Beyond is. It's Captain America. Continue on.
If you need Hydra logoed towels, they're over in aisle 3.
Too soon. Too soon.
I'm sorry.
Too soon.
Is it too soon?
Too soon.
It's really not.
It's a little too soon.
All right, well, while you're lamenting over that, why don't you tell us about this new temporary tattoo?
Guys, where was this thing in college when I could have been like, oh, guys, too drunk, gotta go home.
Where was this thing like last weekend for me? But, whatever.
Not all of us are such party animals, Mitch. I'm real sorry.
So what are they?
Okay, so UC San Diego, they've developed a temporary tattoo sensor system that's able to give you an indication of how much alcohol you have in your body. It's a hydrogel patch that contains electrodes and pilocarpine, I think is how you say it. A drug that induces sweating. So this patch you put on your arm is going to make you sweat, and then it's going to test the levels of alcohol in your sweat. And then there's also a Bluetooth connection to it, to where it's going to essentially send you an alert on your mobile device that says, bro, you're too drunk. And it can tell you, like, as you, like, decrease your body, like, volume, when you're, like, you can set the legal driving limits in your state. And I want one. I don't need one.
You know, they're gonna tie this thing to your phone so you can't text people when you're too drunk.
That's
would be
brilliant.
Yeah.
Or, like, you can't drive, like, you can't get in your car, like...
Yeah, like you Bluetooth connectivity to your vehicle as well.
Yeah.
And if you're above 0.08, nope.
I mean, and it's not like a breathalyzer. You have to pay like $14 million to have it installed in your car.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I think it's a really good... Like, if they don't use it for, like, that further on, I think they're missing a great opportunity.
Or, when they notice that, then they, send a message to the cops or whatever.
Oh, that's a little too Big Brother for me. But
That's
I like that.
getting
I
at.
like the idea of it being like, no, don't drive. Like, you get to your car and, like, your car won't start. I mean, granted, you can just rip the patch off and start. But, I mean, if you have that, like, awakening
Smacking
moment.
on your friend who isn't drinking.
Right. Like, you have that awakening moment when you get in your car and your patch is like, no, like, too drunk, stop. You're like, oh, wait. Okay, so...
And then if you try to
maybe
start your car, you get an electric shock. Gosh, dang it.
Then you probably just go to sleep in your car.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like mad expensive, but
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
I would like to see how it would work in like the real world. There we go.
San Diego?
Yeah.
Get it? Never mind.
Like, where in the world is Carmen San Diego?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I don't follow that one either. I'm lost.
Because it was created at UC San Diego. The real world, San Diego. Never mind.
Oh. Anyway.
Just not funny enough to be here tonight, guys.
I'm sorry. You're plenty funny.
Thank you.
Anyway, so while the people at UC San Diego are coming up with different ways to, save people and whatnot, Xavier University in Cincinnati has installed the first pizza ATM in the nation.
I'm so excited.
Same.
I just can't hide it.
Yeah.
I need one of these in my living room.
I don't, because then I would weigh
Yeah.
like 13,000 pounds. I have to be wheeled around on a cart.
I'm okay with that. It's a pizza ATM, guys.
Yeah.
You swipe the card, you pick a pizza.
Yeah.
Done.
They're going to put so many next to Redbox, it's not even going to be funny.
That is a genius idea.
Well, yeah. Marketing,
oh my
yo.
God. I'm going to buy like 7 of them.
Pickett just found his new career.
I'm going to start. Oh my God, that's a genius idea.
And obviously we got to wait a little while, but like once like marijuana is legalized, put like a marijuana ATM right next to the pizza ATM.
I was thinking about a beer ATM first before
Ooh.
we start getting into like hallucinogens.
Guys, I'm loving this thought process.
You just have like a whole like row of vending machines of all the things you could possibly need.
Tacos. And
Oh, God. If there was like a taco vending machine, that's what I need in my living room.
I'm going to make one.
Do it. You can put your first prototype in my living room as long as it doesn't explode. Or
I
shoot
promise
cheese everywhere.
nothing.
Well, I mean, if it shoots cheese everywhere, I mean that
I'm also
I might be okay with that.
Maybe not lettuce though. That's a lot of cleanup.
Yeah.
I think cheese would be worse to clean up.
But I can just eat the cheese. I'm not necessarily going to just sit there and eat lettuce all day.
That's a valid point.
Like you'll eat lettuce
I
if it's in front of you, but you're not gonna go out of your way, right?
Right, exactly. I just buy a rabbit to like run around my house and eat the spare lettuce.
Problem solved.
And I'm being a humanitarian. I gave a bunny a
There you
home.
go. So then, right next to the taco ATM, you put a bunny rabbit ATM.
I mean, it would get full so fast.
So this pizza ATM, it's it has the ability to serve pizzas 24/7. It's $9 for a 12-inch pizza, and you can choose your toppings on the touch screen, and the pizza will be ready within 3 minutes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Science, guys.
About 70 pizzas are stored in the ATM at once.
Ooh, on a college
Ooh.
campus, is that going to be
That's
enough?
not going to last long.
Somebody's going to be refilling that pizza ATM like all the time.
All day, day.
All day. They're going to have to.
It's like a twice a day stop thing situation.
Right.
Once in the morning, once in the evening when it runs out.
Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening.
Pizza at supper time. Pizza's on a bagel. You can eat pizza anytime.
This episode brought to you by Bagel Bites. And Crystal Pepsi.
Man.
You know what?
You know,
I love bagel bites.
I also love
When-
Bagel Bites.
I mean, yeah,
When those
so do
came,
I.
When those came out, I tried to. I had my mom buy me some, right? Because the whole concept is I can eat pizza in the morning, right? So then when I tried to like get pizza for the morning, my mom's like, "Those are for dinner." I'm like, "Mom, they're a bagel. They're made for breakfast." I still did not eat pizza for the morning. It was sad.
Sad day.
I remember getting them and taking them to school and being like, I'm the cool kid with the pizza Bagel Bites. Only time I was ever cool, guys.
Aw.
When I had food.
I mean, you are like, you do have like 10 more cool points whenever you bring cupcakes.
I know.
It's a true point.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you guys only invite me on the off chance that I will bring cupcakes.
Look, I may or may not have said that.
Guess I better bring some cupcakes sometime soon.
I mean, if we're making requests, either those butterbeer cupcakes or the Deadpool cupcakes. I mean,
But since they're, since Deadpool, it's 6 months old, it's out right now. Should she change it to Harley Quinn cupcakes?
You shut your dirty mouth. I have been known to make really good Superman cupcakes. Remember Superman ice cream? Where it's like
yeah.
red. Yeah, I
Yeah.
make the batter look like that.
Nice.
dang it, Tabitha. Bring us cupcakes.
Fine.
Gosh.
She should make a cupcake ATM.
No, that's not a bad idea. But that's a lot of work. Cupcakes are a lot of work for me.
Well, not if you have an ATM to do it for you.
Right, but then I gotta fill the ATM, and like I don't play with box cupcake mix. That's gross. Nobody wants that.
Guys, I just really want cupcakes right now. Do you have anything else, Mitch?
You know, I don't think so.
How about we put in requests for next week, and I'll see what I can do. Theme cupcakes.
Well,
I put in my 2, so I mean...
I won't be here next week
Wait, what?
What?
because I will be at Wizard World next week.
Oh, well, then there's probably not going to be a show next week.
Okay, well, the next week.
Next.
Yes.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, next week it'll be brought to you live from Wizard World Comic Con. We'll be doing all kinds of fun stuff there. Very excited to hear some of the stuff going on there. I'm so sorry I can't make it. I'm really, really, really bummed about it.
I say you just let go of any responsibilities keeping you from going. And
I legitimately don't have any responsibilities. I just have no money.
I mean, you got a week to like walk the corners. And
You got
It's a
2
valid-
kidneys, and you only need 1.
You only need the one.
Okay. Do you guys know any like black market like buyers?
And not that I can talk about on air.
Right.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll talk later.
Okay. How much is a kidney going for these days?
We'll talk later.
Okay. I just don't want to end up in a bathtub filled with ice.
Trust. Put some trust in Tabitha.
Okay.
She's done this once or twice.
I hope only once.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
to
I
other
only had
people.
1 kidney to begin with, so I'm not.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I can't give you. I can't.
fair enough. Well, there you have it, folks. Cupcakes and black market deals right here on the Geek Awakens.
And I think we have a title for this week's episode.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Oh, good times. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Check us out next a week from Thursday. And don't forget, next week we'll have all kinds of exciting content from Wizard World Comic Con in Chicago. Ow! I'm excited to see the content.
Yep.
We're going to make it happen, folks. We will see you in 2 weeks. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.